Good afternoon. My name is Channing Miles, and today I'll be covering one of the greatest things to not yet happen. That's the 4-day work week, which will include permanently the 3-day weekend. We will cover 3 bases today. That will be the history of the work in the U.S. Secondly, we will cover the comparison of the U.S. to other countries and those work hours and how they contrast. Thirdly, we will do our pros and cons, the best things that benefit us and the things that actually hurt us in our work areas today currently. So first, let's take it back to the industrial era, the 1800s, where the first work hours were actually tracked. Back in that time, it was estimated for people to actually have worked 100 hours a week. Now you think about 100 hours a week, that's extensive. That's pretty much double what we do now. So if you worked 100 hours a week, that would basically say you have no time for self or anything other than work. Labor strikes took place, as we could imagine. If you worked that much, you would definitely want to be off some. So when those labor strikes happened, most of those people fought for the right to work less. That's how we came about the 8-hour workday. Although they got the 8-hour workday, those people still ended up working 6 days a week. So they were still working over what we call our regular minimum hours. By 1938, Congress passed the Fair Labor Standard Act. This actually made it normal for an 8-hour work day and a 40-hour work week, but during that time it would be overtime for 44 hours a week. Now today it's 40 hours. Other countries follow suit shortly after, around the 1950s, 60s, and the 70s time. During today, as we look at it, 1 of 9 Americans have reported that they work 50 plus hours a week. 50 plus hours a week. When we look to other countries, like Sweden, they're reported to only work it's only 1 of 81 people work more than 50 plus hours a week. In Germany, those numbers say 1 in 18. Canada, right above us, pretty much our cousins, 1 in 26. And when we look at the Netherlands, further Europe, 1 in 152. So as we look at the numbers and we compare, the United States American employees are basically working more than any other person when it comes to work hours across the world. U.S. employees show to be more overworked than any other place. I have a quote here from a lady named Anna Marjorie Deluski. She says, economics aside, if longer hours don't necessarily produce more work and fewer hours, or 1 less workday help boost employee health and morale, and generate more engagement and productivity, we ought to at least consider the possibility. Why not consider working less if working more doesn't actually produce more work? 40% of Americans report having extremely stressful jobs. Extremely stressful jobs for almost half of the people in America. This normally leads to sleep problems, mood problems. As you see some people, you might ask them, hey, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? Muscle and joint pain, as we have an abundance of people that deal with pain in our country. High blood pressure, which is always on the rise, and in some cases, obesity. As we know, transportation is a major thing in our country. We deal with a lot of people that are truck drivers and other things. I'm not going to point the finger or say anything about anybody, but there we go. Other studies show workers on shorter hours often increase productivity and work more effectively. That means when you have a little bit more time on your hands and a little less work, you work a little bit smarter, maybe a little bit harder, and you get the job done with pride. Anna Cote says, the success of the economy must be measured in terms of human and planetary well-being, not just rates of growth. Meaning we have to think more than the bottom line or the dollar. We have to think about the people and the planet all together. With that being said, workers benefit from this 4-day weekend. But guess what? The planet does as well. Just 10% work hour reduction, just 10% of work hour reduction, could result in ecological and carbon footprint drops. The carbon emission drops 12.1%, 14.6%, and a 14.2% respectively. That means we work a little bit less, that's less people on the road on a day. This is major. As the CEO of the nonprofit group will state, this is potential triple dividend policy. So something that can benefit the economy, society, and also the environment. So as we stand here right now, hoping to make change in our work days, either less hours or just an extra day off, which we all would love. Let's think about this. Shorter hours, less work days, they contribute to higher morale, better health, more time for life and family, and lastly, less emission into the environment. Let's just not save ourselves and our body and our mind, but let's save the planet. 4-day weekend, well, 3-day weekend, 4-day work week. Thank you.